We knew that Nyquist had spiked a fever, and today it is confirmed that he is out of the Belmont Stakes.
Well, it's unfortunate. Reports are that his white blood cell count came back higher than what they had hoped. And according to trainer Doug O'Neill, the initial antibiotic that Nyquist was placed on obviously wasn't strong enough, so they're going to go with a higher degrade of antibiotic. I'm assuming that they probably went to Genocin, which is an antibiotic that if you were to run within a time frame that essentially you would be okay. But once you add penicillin to that, there's a 21-day withdrawal. And so my feeling is they probably went to the penicillin card, knowing that that white cell count was higher and wasn't coming down, because I'm sure there were multiple bloods taken.
And there's the official word there from David Grenning reporting on the Daily Racing Forum. So that is confirmed. And look, we've run into this situation before. It's unfortunate for racing fans who were longing to see the next meeting between Nyquist and Exaggerator. Hopefully that will take place down the road. There's still some very important races for the 3-year-olds only, and then of course later in the year when they come out of their division and face older horses, both of those colts could be prominent.
Well, you'd certainly hope so. The fact that the Breeders' Cup Classic is on the left coast this year, I think, is even more so of a positive, that there's a very good chance that that rivalry could culminate in that particular race. Then added the Pegasus $12 million race on the turn of 2017 that comes into play as well, as Mr. Redham, of course, hoping to partake in that race. You know, the one thing to consider in reference to Nyquist, and I have to applaud Team Darley, based on the fact that they took on that horse's breeding rights, I believe it was just prior to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year, coming out of the front runner. But, you know, they've kind of remained under the radar in all of this, not to induce any of the racing and perhaps where they go. But I'm sure it's in the contract that stipulates that they are for breeding only and racing, much like what Mr. Zayed had with American.
Right, I was going to say that's kind of the same deal that American Pharoah made with the folks at
Coolmore.
Coolmore,
right.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, when you reflect on Nyquist, it really kind of exponentially kind of stipulates the greatness of American Pharoah for what he was able to accomplish. Here's a horse that was essentially taken out of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Right.
And as I'd said yesterday, a horse that there was word on the street that he may potentially never race again. But when it's all said and done, just how difficult this Triple Crown is. And mind you, Nyquist only won the Kentucky Derby. It's not as if he were on the precipice of winning the Triple Crown. But as great or as good as he was throughout the process, he was undefeated going to the Preakness. It just tells you how difficult it is. So, but I applaud Team O'Neill, Paul Redham, doing the right thing once again. And this has to be just a little bit of a heartbreak for them, just based on the fact what happened with I'll Have Another.
Sure.
And let's hope that with Nyquist, this will be put behind him, because you remember his sire, Uncle Mo, had some issues with a rare disorder that pertained to his liver and affected his white blood cell count. So let's hope genetics aren't into play here. I don't think they are. I think it's just the stress of running, and we'll hope that we'll see Nyquist back in action sometime very soon.
Yeah, but what we know right now is that Nyquist will not go in the Belmont Stakes. You can weigh in with your opinions about that. Mail at tvg.com.
Bet anywhere with TVG.